Welcome to my channel, Ken here. Today let's take a look at the Focal Lensys closed back headphones. Let's go! I've left the link below should you consider buying these headphones. It's at no cost to you, but it'll help my channel. So these Focal Lensys headphones are closed back. They are very much in the style of their other headphones. I think they look very good. They're a little asymmetrical, as you can see here. They have a cord on one side, and all my testing was done with a 1/4 inch regular plug, except for the iPad and iPhone and the Mojo tube by cord. Even though Focal provided these headphones to me, the thoughts and opinions are mine alone. So it comes with this little neat carrying case. It is compact, nicely made, and here you go. 2 cables and the headphones. Nicely done. So how do they fit? So first, you have this 1/8 inch plug here. Plug it in, adjust your headphones, and this is how they fit. Pretty securely, definitely good for a performer. I also think they're very good to walk around with, and they don't move at all. Again, they come with this curly cord. They also provided me with another cable, which is just a straight mini. It's very short, as you can see. The headphone specs are, they have a nominal impedance of 26 ohms. They have a sensitivity of 100 dB for 1 milliwatt. So they're pretty efficient. They have a little bit of a low impedance. They have 306 grams of weight, which is relatively light, I think. And they are closed back. They're pretty well made, I think. And they definitely ooze a little bit of class. And I think they look good. They're priced at about $700 in US. I tried these headphones on a bunch of different headphone amplifiers and devices. You know, iPad, iPhone, the Benchmark HPA4, the Mojo 2 by cord, the Alto by cord, the Ferrum Or, the Austrian Audio Score, and a Rupert Neve RNHP headphone amp, as well as the Lynx and the Cranbourne audio interfaces. And there was never an issue with this at all. I think they sounded great on all of these devices. They could play loud. They had their characteristics shining through, and as they are coming with this curly cord, and if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I am not a big fan of curly cords at all. So I wish they would stop that. That's my plea to them. And also, it makes the cord feel shorter than it really is. It's just a lot more wire it has to go through. They adjust in a pretty standard way. There's these little side sliders that you can adjust, and they have a solid bar across. And as far as comfort is concerned, if you can see here, they are kind of small. So maybe it's because I have a bigger head, I don't know, but they did feel like they're squishing the ears a little bit, and I did get a little bit of fatigue behind my ear where the clamp force was pushing in, and that hurt a little bit after hours of listening. But when you pick out a pair of headphones, you gotta try them on, because you might not experience the same thing. They do have a little bit of crown pressure here, but not a lot. It's not a huge problem. And the clamp force is okay. If they were just a little bit bigger, they would be great for my head. And other than that, for closed back headphones, I think they are pretty phenomenal. I have to say that right away. But Do they have flaws? Absolutely. So here are my thoughts on the headphones. Please hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below. So I'll start off by saying that I don't have a huge amount of experience with closed back headphones, and mostly when I deal with headphones that are closed back, it's usually in an overdubbing session. Therefore, I have to say right off the bat, they're probably the best closed backs I've heard, the ones that I've used in studios over the years. But they do have a really good mid-range, and they maintain the mid-range integrity, which is, to me, one of the most important things. They could use a little more fleshed out lower mid-range though. And the upper mid-range, as you can see here on the graph, they have a dip at about 2K and then a rise at 4K and a big rise in the lower treble. And I do hear those frequency variations there. So part of my comments about these headphones has to do with that. But as far as the low end is concerned, they do go pretty low, but I do feel like, and this is, to me, my experience with closed back is that the slam and the weight of the bottom end is just not on par. But I do think it's a useful bass, and it certainly tells you what's going on there. This upper peak in the treble region there, it's, even though it is narrow, it does make a little bit of a coloration to special cymbals that gets to be a little bit splashy. On the other hand, if you are dialing in vocal sounds, it's kind of a helpful thing to get the de-esser right, because it really will show that those S's on the vocals. For closed back especially, I think they have pretty good dynamics, but they're nowhere near the open back higher end headphones. It does have nice separation of the instruments, which I feel like is one of the places where other closed backs kind of struggle a little bit. For a closed back, the dynamics are very good, especially the micro dynamics, which means the little strokes on the drums or pick attack. And so the obvious one I compared to is the Beyer Dynamic 770s, which I have been using for many years here in the studio for overdubbing, and it seems to be the one that my artists always pick for overdubbing. I do think they're a class above those for sure, these Lensys headphones. And they're also more expensive, so I would expect that. They do have a nice tonal quality to them. However, I do think they sound slightly honky. Honky to me is in the 400 to 800 hertz range. It's not that the frequency response is showing it, but it seems that they're kind of emphasizing that region a little bit. The very, very low bass, I just don't think I hear it on these headphones. They might measure it, but also as far as, you know, the width and the stereo perspective is concerned, they're good. I mean, there's no question about it. But compared to some of the best planar magnetic, electrostatics, and dynamic headphones that I've tried recently, they're not as wide and as big sounding. So considering that they are closed backs, rejection from outside noise becomes pretty important, because that's what you would use a closed back for, especially for overdubbing. And I think it's definitely on level with the Beyer Dynamic 770 and other headphones that I've used. They're very good with that. They seem to create a seal around the ear, which is nice. And they are going to be very, very good for overdubbing, because they do sit snugly and securely on your head, so you can move around when you're performing, and therefore I think they're a great choice for overdubbing. And I would absolutely recommend these for people that do a lot of vocal overdubs and things like that, because that mid-range is so nice. Overall, I would say that I definitely recommend these for vocalists that are overdubbing a lot. I use them quite a bit for acoustic guitars, and I felt very comfortable recording guitars on these in an overdub session, and they work really well as far as a overdubbing kind of headphone. So I do recommend them on those grounds, and I also think they're the best close back I've heard so far. Wish I had a little more experience with close backs. It just seems to me that most performers seems to pick the same ones over and over, so I got used to those, but I'm gonna see if they will pick this one for the next sessions. They're a little more expensive than the average close back headphones that you would use in the studio, but they seem solid, well built, and able to withstand a session in the studio for many years to come. It's just the ear pads can be replaced and all that, and how do they clean? Only time will tell. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, take care.